My name is Joseph Alalu.
And I'm Emily Smith, and we're both from Santa Monica College.
Our company is Oculock, providing an innovative view on information security. How do I know they won't just take a picture of their screen? This is a question that everyone who has ever used Snapchat has probably wondered. While this example is kind of silly, it does expose an inherent problem when sending digital information. There are many ways that people can save, duplicate, and redistribute information. And when the information is of a valuable or sensational nature, people will go to extreme lengths to circumvent protections and copy the data. Also, while you know who you're sending the information to, you don't always know who has access to that device or who's looking over the recipient's shoulder. Information security problems cost American firms a total of $300 billion a year. At Oculock, we've identified two major information security problems that have increased as the world has transitioned to remote work. Individuals saving private information by physically taking a picture of their screen actually has a name. It's called the analog hold problem. By the very nature of something being able to be seen by the naked eye, someone can photograph it and save it forever. According to Statista, as of 2020, there are over 3.5 billion smartphones in the world, many with photo and video recording capabilities. The analog hold problem arises for remote individuals as they work and learn in unknown environments. Many are in shared environments with roommates, family members, and other people around unfamiliar to an employer or organization. And you can bet that many of these working environments are less secure than a school or office with commercial-grade security. So why are these problems unique to the remote environment? These problems arise because we overvalue electronic security measures like passwords and encryption and undervalue physical security. Electronic security and physical security only work when they work together. Think about it. At work and school, we have things like device policies, IDs, and badges, and passwords and encryption are great for some things, but they are useless if a bad actor is looking over an authorized user's shoulder or someone tries to take a picture of their screen. Keycards and badges prevent unauthorized users from getting near devices that access the network. Physical security measures like in-office personal device policies and supervision prevent individuals from taking pictures of their screen. Think about it. An employee working at their office versus at a Starbucks. For an unknown individual to get physical access to your network at the office, they would have to get past guards, locked doors, and other employees. At a coffee shop, a bad actor has far easier access to on-network devices. The Oculock solution creates a secure remote environment and solves the analog hold problem. This protects organizations and individuals. Our solution has global potential and is industry agnostic. This has the potential to become an industry best practice, and we see it as Ring meets DocuSign. Our technology allows for live or automated proctoring when users are viewing sensitive data, allowing an organization to make sure the viewer is in a secure location. Viewing sessions containing sensitive data can be terminated instantly. We solve the analog hold problem by using refresh rate manipulation to make physical pictures unusable. We prevent screenshots and send notifications if someone attempts one. And we have a unique solution to prevent users from spoofing video feeds and faking their location.
So if we look at our business model, Oculock charges subscribers a license fee based on their organization's size. So for example, a small company bank would pay less than a global organization like Morgan Stanley. Virtually every industry deals with sensitive data and has proprietary or valuable data that needs to be protected. Lastly, many industries have legal obligations to protect data like HIPAA, FERPA, and PCI DSS. So COVID-19, remote working and learning has been increasing since 2010. According to NAICS, 67% of US companies allow remote work as of 2019. And according to the US Department of Education, 6.9 million students took an online class in 2019. The analog hold problem existed before COVID and was solved at things like concerts and movies using physical security measures.
So when you look at our competition, there aren't that many products out there in this space, but out of the products that are in this space, many of them have either specific use cases or they're designed only for digital security. Oculock is the only company that offers a variety of broad use cases and focuses on physical security as well. Looking at the market from a bottom-up analysis, we took the percentage of firms that say that their employees could work remotely and then took the implied number of firms in each category that we sell licenses to in the minor, medium, and major enterprise categories. And if we only got 20% market share of these companies that offer remote work, this would represent a $20.6 billion market opportunity for Oculock.
So looking at the market using a top-down approach, we see an attractive opportunity as well. According to NAICS, there were 15.5 million businesses operating in the US in 2018. Out of these firms, 9.7 million reported they had employees who could work remotely. If we could get a 20% market share and each of these firms paid only our lowest fees, this would represent a $19.4 billion annual market opportunity for OcuLock. So our growth strategy, we plan to grow our business through research and development, including building a mobile version of our platform and developing an online mode. We will develop the sales channel using use case marketing campaigns, and we will collaborate with industry and professional groups to develop remote work security standards. Lastly, we will take care of our existing clients with dedicated support services.
So this is a basic 3-year projection financial model, and the percent of revenue that we use for COGS, R&D, and SG&A expenses were from my research on comparable software as a service platforms. You can see that EBITDA quickly ramps up after just the second year to 17.9 million as of year 3.
Again, we are Joseph Alalu and Emily Smith, both students at Santa Monica College. Joseph is our CEO and CFO, and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer and Director of Business Development. We are currently looking for a CTO and a Chief Information Security Officer.
So to wrap up, OcuLock has a massive market opportunity. Millions have shifted to remote work due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but our company has long-term viability as well. There are many in-person work applications and in-person learning applications that OcuLock would be great for. And we have a major competitive advantage. Our proprietary technology solves a major problem that nobody else knows how to solve. Thank you.
So I just want to go first and say, like, your solution is amazing. Joseph and Emily, I think you've done a great job here. So my startup is in the remote work space. So I've, this problem you described is one I've heard people, experts in enterprise, talk about. It's a real problem for remote workers. And I think the numbers you've put about projections for remote work are realistic and are similar to what I've heard going forward. So overall, I think you've done a very great and solid job overall on like understanding the problem and defining one that will exist even after the pandemic. Now, the one question I want to ask you is, how will your tech prevent people from taking pictures? So you mentioned a manual refresh rate. Can you talk a bit more about exactly what your tech does and what you would need to build it?
Sure. So if you recall the days of the CRT TVs, if you've ever seen a recording of like an old tube TV, the way that those, because of the physics of the way that those refresh, you would actually see scanning lines coming down the screen. It was actually very difficult to discern what was on the screen. LCD screens, like our modern screens, actually use completely different technology. So inherently, they don't have those scanning lines. But because the refresh rates on LCD screens have actually gotten faster, not slower, we have the ability to make the picture flicker on the screen in a way that's undiscernible to the human eye, but would make it very challenging to take a picture of it. Because some of our competitors offer like watermark protection, for example, where it would be able to, you'd be able to tell whose screen was captured, but there's some information out there that is so sensitive or so sensational that those watermarks aren't a good enough deterrent, and you just don't want it to get out, because I think we all know once the toothpaste is out of the tube, it's out there, and it's very, very challenging to get out. You can use DMCA takedowns on social networks like Twitter and YouTube, but on Discord, WhatsApp, other peer-to-peer full encryption platforms, there's no way to regulate the material that's on there. So our view is we have to obscure the picture and make sure it just never gets out.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, I have a question. So, well, first off, good job, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Why are you guys for this problem?
So go ahead, Emily.
So actually, I ran into this problem. I asked professors, I asked a specific professor to see test answers, and they told me no, I wasn't allowed to see what I got wrong on a test because of this security problem. So I think we bring in an interesting approach to it because of our experience with being denied information because of the security issue. Joseph, do you want to add to that?
No, I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, we have experience with this as students, and we have some experience putting together teams, and we think that we would be able to effectively solve the problem.
Hi guys, this is Judy. I just wanted to compliment you guys on your ability to develop something that addresses an unmet need. You'd be the first place in this unique area of the market. And just to say that I was writing down questions as you were going along, and then the further you progressed into your presentation, you answered them. So kudos to you guys on a well thought out and executed presentation.
Thank you.
We have some time. Do we have some time, Alice?
Yes, if there are any other questions, we have 1 minute.
No, that's okay. Thank you, Akalab, so much for your presentation and just for compliments and questions.
Thanks
And
so
now-
much.
Thank you, everyone.
Yep, of course.